we got charred.
SODO!
What's going on, Soda population? As always, I'm your host of Fourze and Stratos, and today, well, like I said, we've got Gotchard stuff, and I'm sorry if I made that intro the same as every single other person that's probably talked about Gotchard, but we have some really awesome candy toy news coming up about Gotchard. But the main thing that we have this week is a brand new blog. I'm so sorry for this awful image, but Bandai, you've got to get better game at these thumbnails. They have to be higher res, because there are some really good images of what we have to talk about. Check this out. It is all of Double's main forms, and by main forms I mean like the main combinations you can make with the original, I want to say 6 memories, and basically how this works out is that these main 3, the main combos, those are all done in Shodo Double Cross, you know, through the retail releases. But we have 2 brand new premium Bandai sets for the rest of them, just to, you know, get us to the finish line, really round out that the rest of that cast. And I recognize that, hey, you know, we've had SHODO-Chronicle in the past, and SHODO-Chronicle was able to do the form swapping already. Is it a little redundant that we are having to buy completely new bodies for each and every one of these if we wanted them? Yeah, I'd say a little bit. It kind of sucks, but on the other hand, these are a lot more articulated than we got with the, you know, with the gimmick-heavy versions of the figures. They were the very first SHODO-Chronicle figures, so there's a lot of articulation lost on these guys. So I don't mind this update here, and it is ancillary. This is, like I said, a premium Bandai item. We'll get into the price later, but, you know, let's sort of dive into what we have on these guys so far. The first set of all these guys is going to include Heat Joker, which looks really cool. They wanted to mention that for all the Heat items they have here, it is going to have that shiny metallic paint. It has been revised since the initial release at retail, so the Heat Metal from that set, that paint has been revised, and I'd say it looks really good. Another key point here is that each of these are going to come with some really awesome accessories. This one specifically is going to come with the effect parts to reproduce the Joker grenade. It's really cool. You know, back in the day, back when it was just the Shodo Versus figure, I did my best to make something like this myself for the Joker side, so I really do appreciate stuff like this. Love accessories like these. Next up, we have Cyclone Metal. The green here is, you know, a little bit more revised. It looks very good. Another thing that you can do with this is, with the effect parts, have it look like he's, you know, doing the tornado effect at the end of the Tonfa. Or Tonfa. No, at the end of the staff. It looks decent. You're also able to have it stored on the back. You're also able to have it, you know, in its collapsed form. Another thing that these accessories, though, are useful for is pairing them with the purple included ones, and you can have this with your regular double to really spruce up this display. I definitely appreciate that. So, that's actually not all for the effect parts here, because they did actually add extra effect parts for your Heat Metal. This is not included. They have extra parts to do, I believe this is the metal branding. That looks really good. I definitely love these effects. Yeah, moving on from all these accessories, we have the final figure of the set, Cyclone Trigger. Looks good. Sadly, it doesn't come with its own dedicated parts, but you can use like the wind effect pieces as the blasts for these guys. So that was it for this set. This is, I think I forgot to say it at the top, but I believe this is called the Half Change set, so that's really neat. Yeah, moving on to the very next set. The first figure of that set is Heat Trigger. Once again, just like they had said about the original figures, this red has been revised, so it does look a bit more vibrant. It also has an effect part for the gun to make it look like you're firing directly into this dude's belly, so that's very cool. And this is something I love. There are dedicated effect pieces in order to make Luna Trigger look like it's firing out its, its final attack. I forgot what it was called, but this does look very cool. Also, the next figure up is Luna Metal, and it does come with the staff and its standard, bow staff components. It's able to store on the back, all that stuff, but the fun thing here is that you have all these little wiggly parts to make it, more Luna. And you can pair this with your Eternal if you would like. The final figure of this set is Luna Joker, and with all these right halves, the paint has been spruced up here. Another thing is that you can swap in the new wiggly arm, and it's nice. Not only that, but you can swap out the hand piece as well, so that's interchangeable and presumably swivels. So yeah, that is it for that second set. Pretty bog standard, something you would expect out of these. The pre-orders are already up now. If you want them, it's going to run you 7,200 yen each. So each of these sets, 7,200 yen. What is that? 14,400 yen before tax? And then, just sort of imagine what that will be in your mind's eye. How much money that will be when you're trying to import it. It's a lot. It's frightening. Let's take a look at what we have next instead, because this is SODO Chronicle Fourze. I'm going to breeze right through this because we kind of already know what's in here, but Fourze, they have some in-hand images, and they look pretty neat until you take a look at some of the peeling stickers, but we'll get there. So yeah, Fourze Chronicle, it's happening. I believe if it's not in stores already, it's in stores soon, so definitely check your pre-orders right now. He looks decent. Here he is from the side. Ooh, boy, those stickers are not sticking, but God, I don't know why they would put forth a bit of a better effort. I'm sorry, guys, but outside of that, it has some very nice play features here. Something that, most other lines aren't able to boast is that Fourze, with the premium Bandai sets, will give you a complete loadout of all the modules. The original Candy Toy line didn't get to do that, but this line is striving to do so. With that in mind, you have the rocket module, the launcher module, the radar module, and the drill module. So that all will be included in that very first set. Also, with Cosmic States here, he's going to be coming with his main weapon. So, and I think that switch he has on is the 40th, so we're running through the switches. On his chest, we have every single one on that panel. That panel specifically is an extra piece that goes over top a sticker, so that looks really cool. I can't wait to have that in hand. The main weapon here is just two different pieces, and the back ends of each of those pieces do swap out so that you can either pose it with the loaded switch or without the loaded switch, and either way you pose it, it's gonna look pretty good in hand. Anyway, moving on, we have Meteor. He looks decent. Something they really wanted to do here was give you the, and I believe it's called the lame material. It's basically glittery plastic. They wanted to recreate the look from the show, and I think they effectively did that here. I think it comes across a lot better in the renders. What we see on this figure that's not rendered, it doesn't look quite right, but hopefully in hand it looks a lot better. But yeah, this looks neat, and on top of that, the accessory set is going to come with the Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. So these are all going to be included. I know the stickers don't really look good. I understand. But to have them at all is pretty neat, and how else would they have done this? There's no amount of paint they could have put on these to make it worth the money. You know what I mean? Like, if they put paint on these, this would have been a premium Bandai item. Huh. Actually, that would have been nice. Anyways, I don't know. It might have been cost prohibitive anyway. Either way, he also has a finger sticker. So that's going to be a fun, good time for everyone, and you can use that to, interface with the wrist. So that's cool. And we have this guy's final form. Oh, before I forget, they did include tons and tons of extra hand pieces because he does like a specific type of kung fu or some sort of fighting style that they really wanted to get that across. Another thing is that the head is made out of clear plastic, so you have the eyes showing underneath, just like the show. Wanted to make that clear. Anyways, Meteor has his final form as well. It certainly looks. It does come with that extra little accessory there to make it look like you're pulling the ripcord on the Beyblade at the end, and you can have it to where it looks like it's launching the Beyblade. You have an empty part, and you have the extra little top there. You have two tops, one of which is way bigger and actually kind of spins, so that's really cool. They don't advise that you do that since it is all stickered, but you can do it. Anyways, that is it for Fourze. That's all coming out. I believe it's already out, and I think I already got charged for mine, so definitely take a look at what you all got charged for on, whatever site you're using. And something they wanted to note is that next week, there's not going to be a blog, but there is going to be a Twitter post after Superhero Time, so definitely keep your eyes peeled on the SODO Pop Twitter account. Yes, I said it, Twitter account, for that information. Anyways, moving on. Like I said, at the top, we do have some Gotchard information. And, we had the news that going forward, D-Man would be taking over the retail SODO line. How long that was, we didn't know, and for what lines there were, we didn't know, but what we do have now are two listings on Toku-lectables that seem to state that we are getting Gotchard 1 and 2 of SODO. So at the very least, we have two pre-orders that you can make. I definitely already made these pre-orders for $78 for this Gotchard set. I don't know what it's going to include. Gotchard 2 probably is going to be heavy on the Gotchard, but Gotchard 1, it has the ability to maybe round out a little bit of what's left over from Geats. I imagine we're getting a Geats 9 because we got hinted about that and we still didn't get it yet. We have we have the final form for I'm just gonna say the color green, and then we have a handful of things that they need to do, is the point. I believe 4 things come to mind, like Geats 9, the black and the Nemesis looking Geats 9, and then Evil Keiwa and really extra good Nago. So those are on the table potentially, but I don't know what this case breakdown is going to be. I don't know what this new regime is going to look like at SODO, because we've had G-Man for so long. We've had what feels like someone who's going to advocate and actually fight for a lot of these things so far, and we've had such a break. I don't know. D-Man, he has a great track record. He's worked on retail SODO before. He's worked on SODO Chronicle before, so he knows how to represent characters and get to the really obscure stuff. So I really hope that none of that is lost on Gotchard 1 and 2 whenever those happen. Those are tentative names, by the way. It can't just be 1 and 2. So yeah, we're playing the waiting game. But these aren't the only pre-orders that went up this weekend. Or I don't even know if it was this weekend. It was this past week. But there were some interesting Sentai pre-orders that went up that we will be covering in the next episode that comes out. So definitely subscribe if you want to get that information. I don't know if that video is coming out either today or tomorrow, but you know, it just sort of depends on scheduling. But what I do know is that if you have not yet had your fill, definitely catch up on all the candy toy news with this video that we recently did on the Yudo Premium Bandai line for King Oger. It's certainly a premium. You are paying a premium for this item, but it comes from a really good place because distribution on these has been difficult and they want to make sure to get these out to you. So if you haven't already, check out that video if you need more information on how to get some King Oger items. Anyways, that video is right here for you now. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it. See you next time.